Oh, I love that sound. That's the sound of the Art Van Damme Quintet. And it's time right now for the Bottomless Pit with Marshall Crenshaw. That's me. Thanks for joining me here on WFUV, and thanks to Paul Cavalcante for the shout out. Before we go any further, why don't we hear a quick word from our sponsor right now.
Now you can be taller than she is.
Adler, Adler, Adler makes you taller in his Adler elevated shoes. She'll look up to you when you are taller. You can say goodbye to all your blues. Now you can be taller than she is. Here's all you have to do. Just get yourself a lift in Adler, Adler, Adler elevator shoes.
It's not always your height that counts, men. It's the way other men look at you. Don't let them look down on you. Step into Adler elevator shoes and step up in the world. You'll be almost 2 inches taller instantly. You'll stand straighter, look better, and command the respect you're entitled to. You're taller comfortably and confidentially, for the heels are no higher. Smart men are going up in the world. So don't just wish you were taller. Do something about it.
And get yourself a lift in Adler, Adler elevator shoes today.
Old Man Adler is the man to see when you want to be taller than she.
Because Old Man Adler does a lot for you.
Confidentially with his elevator shoe.
There is one Adler shoe store at 128 West 42nd Street.
Here on the Bottomless Pit, where would we be without the good folks at Adler? They've done so much for us over the years. Tonight on the show, I'm going to salute for most of the hour one of the great American record labels of the post-World War II era. This is a record label that really shifted the landscape, really moved the culture. This label was called ESP-Disc. The founder and president of ESP-Disc Records was a guy named Bernard Stolman. He just passed away on April 20th, and that's what, gave me the idea to take on this subject. It's a very vital subject in my mind. Bernard Stolman established ESP-Disc Records in 1964, just as the 1960s were becoming the 1960s. And ESP-Disc Records was a thing that really helped to drive the zeitgeist, you might say. I don't think I've ever said that word in my life before, zeitgeist. But anyway, Bernard Stolman was an attorney, a New York-based attorney. He did some legal work for the Charlie Parker estate and for Folkways Records, and kind of got one foot in the music business during his legal career. At some point in his life, he learned how to speak Esperanto. Maybe you've heard of Esperanto. Somebody back in the late 19th century, a fellow by the name of Dr. L.L. Zamenhof created this language. His notion was that the world might become a better place if there was a universal language, so he invented one. Bernard Stolman was a user and booster of Esperanto. He started ESP-Disc Records as a vehicle to promote the spread of the usage of Esperanto. And in fact, the first release on the label was an album called Ni Cantu en Esperanto. Not sure if my accent is correct on that, but anyway, I guess the singer on the album was Bernard Stolman himself. I can't verify that for sure, but anyway, the second album on ESP-Disc Records was one by Albert Ayler. If you Google the words free jazz, you'll see the name Albert Ayler right away. ESP-Disc Records released an album called Spiritual Unity by Albert Ayler. And then and there, Stolman changed the focus of the label from Esperanto to the cause of free jazz and avant-garde music. Free jazz was and is music that expresses emotional urgency and does it in a way that is an assault to some people's senses, and an affront to some people's sensibilities. It's deliberately confrontational music. And ESP-Disc Records went right down that road, of giving free jazz artists a platform for unbridled self-expression. And then the 18th release on ESP-Disc Records was an album called the Fugs' first album. So thereby they, started to sign some rock groups too. I remember when I first learned of the existence of the Fugs, I'm not sure anymore how I first heard of them. I certainly didn't hear them on the radio, but, I found out what some of the song titles were and what some of the lyrics were, and I was just instantly shocked and intrigued. And then eventually I saw a Fugs album in a record store, and I just looked at this thing, and it gave off this vibe of being a forbidden object, like it had to be a sin even to look at the record. I was raised a Catholic boy, so the idea of sin was always present in my mind. Anyway, every time I would see an album on the ESP-Disc record label as a kid, it would always strike me that way, as just being some kind of thing that would take you down a dark road, or take you into some alternate universe. So now let's get together and enjoy some of this music that came out over the years on the ESP-Disc Records label. And I will warn you that some of this stuff is actually radio melting fare. I apologize in advance if your radio catches on fire or if your computer explodes. I'm gonna have to work a little bit to make some of this stuff FCC friendly, but I think it'll be worth it. As far as I'm concerned, this stuff is just really essential and great American popular music. We're going to start off with a couple by the Fugs, and this track is really great because it takes us right into the studio with Bernard Stolman and the boys, and it sounds like this.
Can we have the note? Can we have the a chord? Or it's not. When I was a little boy, my mama lived on me.
The engineer is becoming very difficult, but try to keep a certain distance from the microphone.
Right here.
Because sometimes you're here and sometimes you're there.
Let's try D then. Let's not play it in E. Yeah, all right, D. Let's try D. All right, let's. For now on, nothing holds us back. Cacophony forever. For now on, no stopping. All right, let's go.
When that I was a little boy, my mommy defeated me. She would not let me play with me. Defeated, I know I am defeated. Defeated, you are defeated too. When that I went to a little school, my teacher defeated me. She would not let me sing at my desk, nor climb on an apple tree. Defeated, I know I am defeated. Defeated, you are defeated too. When that I went to a little church, my preacher defeated me. He told me I sinned when I talked about love, and I'm damned to eternity. Defeated, I know I am defeated. Defeated, you are defeated too. When that I was a little man, the government said to me, I want 3 years and perhaps your life to kill my enemy. Defeated, I know I am defeated. Defeated, you are defeated too. When I returned from the army, my boss, he said to me, I buy your life for $3,000 a year, and after 60 you free. Oh yeah! After 60 you free. Defeated, defeated, I know I am defeated. Defeated, defeated, you are defeated too. You are defeated too. You are defeated too. You defeated, man. Me too.
Cheer up.
Near our middle of very far east.
I'm sitting here with a big dumb grin on my face right now. The great Albert Ayler on WFUV. The last time I played an Albert Ayler record on the Bottomless Pit, I played a Doris Day record first and then segued into an Albert Ayler record. I thought it worked perfectly and beautifully. And that was a tune called Ghosts, Variation Number 1 from the album Spiritual Unity on ESP-Disc Records, with Sonny Murray on drums, Gary Peacock on bass. Before that, we heard Bottomless Pit superstar Sun Ra with the orchestra and a tune called Interplanetary Travelers from an album called Heliocentric Worlds. And before that was the Fugs with their classic Kill for Peace, and we started off the whole set with one by the Fugs called Defeated. I'm Marshall Crenshaw, and tonight here on the Bottomless Pit, I'm saluting ESP-Disc Records, one of the great record labels of all time, and I'm acknowledging the passing of Bernard Stallman. He died on April 20th. He was the founder and president of the label.
Schlitz presents Vic Damone singing Know the Real Joy of Good Living. Move up to quality, move up to Schlitz. Know the real joy of good living. Move up to quality, move up to Schlitz. Refreshing Schlitz, the world's best-selling beer at any price you pay. One of the finer things in life everyone can enjoy today. Know the real joy of good living. Move up to quality, move up to Schlitz. Know the real joy of good living. Move up to quality, move up to Schlitz.
Where have you been to? Where did you go? Did you follow the summer out when the winter pushed its face in the snow? Or have you come by again to die again? Well, try again another time. Did you follow the crystal swan? Did you see yourself deep inside the velvet pond? Or have you come by again to die again? Well, try again another time. When you set to shape the world, was the shape of you? Or did you cast enchanting glance through the eye that all men use? Or have you come by again to die again? Well, try again another time. Did you find that the universe doesn't care at all? Did you find that if you don't care, this whole wrong world will fall? Or have you come by again to die again? Well, try again another time. Did you ever capture all those jewels in the sky? Did you find that the world outside is all inside your mind? Or have you come by again to die again? Well, try again another time.
I like it. That's a nice one. I remember that one from the early days of FM rock radio, said the old guy. That was one called Another Time by Pearls Before Swine. I'm Marshall Crenshaw with the Bottomless Pit on WFUV, and let's resume our salute to ESP-Disc Records, a real game-changing record label of the 1960s. As I said before, the founder and president of ESP-Disc Records, Bernard Stolman, passed away back on April 20th. I also mentioned that Bernard Stolman was a practitioner and a champion of Esperanto, the quote-unquote universal language, and he was also a patron and a champion of all kinds of convention-defying music like free jazz and underground rock. And he was an idealist, in other words, but apparently there was like kind of an ironic underside to his idealism. In every single obituary of his that I read, and I read 4 or 5 various newspapers, in all of them there were quotes from at least 3 or 4 different former ESP disc recording artists claiming that Bernard Stolman was a thief, you know, and that his record contracts were draconian and that he wouldn't honor them. So I guess he was an idealist and a crook at the same time, right? I mean, I'm just reporting what I read. Anyway, let's hear a couple of tracks from one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. This is an album called Contact High with the Godz, Godz.
Just
All three of my applause samples plus 35 more for the Godz, G-O-D-Z, on ESP-Disc Records, and that was a piece called White Cat Heat, preceded by their classic Lay in the Sun, All I Want to Do is Lay in the Sun. Right now we're going to hear something from the brilliant Karl Berger, B-E-R-G-E-R. Karl Berger is a wonderful composer, plays lots of instruments. He's had a really illustrious and long career. He's still walking the earth, I'm glad to say. Lives over in Woodstock. I used to see him around town when I lived over there with my wife. I saw Karl Berger play live in this little bar in Woodstock one time. A guitar player friend of mine named David Tronzo called up and invited me to come by and hear him play with Karl Berger, and I really loved the music. It was great. Among many, many other things, Karl Berger did the string arrangements, all the string arrangements on the first Jeff Buckley album. He's collaborated with Natalie Merchant, various other rock artists over the years. He's also collaborated a lot with Ornette Coleman. In fact, it was Don Cherry of the Ornette Coleman Quartet who discovered, quote-unquote, Karl Berger in Germany and brought him over to the United States. Karl Berger was a ESP-Disc recording artiste back in the mid-'60s for maybe 4 or 5 albums worth. The first album that he did for the label was called From Now On, and let's enjoy a track from it right now. Hit it, Karl. the wild, exciting sounds of the multi-talented and multifaceted Karl Berger, heard there on vibraphone, along with Carlos Ward on alto saxophone, Henry Grimes on bass, Ed Blackwell on drums, and that was a tune called Steps, which finishes off side one of Karl's From Now On album on ESP-Disc Records, recorded back in 1966. Now, speaking of Woodstock people, Ed Sanders of the Fugs, I saw him just about every day around town during the years that I lived there, and spoke to him a couple times. I was introduced to him by Barry Samuels, who ran the local bookstore. I was friendly with Barry, bought a lot of books from him. Ed Sanders, of course, is kind of a giant, really, and I was really happy to meet him when I was introduced to him. I have all 3 volumes of these books called A History of the United States of America in Verse by Ed Sanders, and I love those books. I recommend them to anybody who likes books. Possibly my favorite thing that Ed Sanders ever did, well, that's hard to say because, I always liked the Fugs. I always liked Ed's songs. But anyway, Ed was the editor and publisher of a newspaper in Woodstock during the time that I lived there called the Woodstock Journal. I can't remember anymore how often it came out, whether it was monthly or weekly. But anyway, it was usually about 16 pages, I guess, and there'd be copies of it laying in the bagel shop, and I'd pick it up and read it, and it was just really engrossing always. The articles that he wrote and published after 9/11 were really moving to me. I hope that I kept a copy of that issue around someplace. Anyway, let's go out of part 2 of tonight's Bottomless Pit with Marshall Crenshaw on WFUV with a selection by ESP-Disc Records flagship artists, the Fugs. Take it away, Fugs.
To a party the other night. I wanted to feel my brain was light. I grabbed myself a bottle and I started drinking wine. I thought pretty soon I'd be feeling fine, but I couldn't get high. Couldn't get high. Down the bottle and I whipped out my pipe and I stuffed it full of gas and I gave myself a light.
I've got stacks of old memories filed inside my head. Would you like to see some? Over here, I keep childhood memories. Down here are memories of my family. That's Laura, my wife. Those are our kids. Hey, here's a nice memory. This was a picnic we went on last fall. The kids were playing, and Laura and I just sat and talked. Wait a second, what's this? Oh yeah, I had a headache that day. Isn't it strange what a headache can do to a beautiful day? Of course, when I decided to do something about it, I took bufferin. You know that bufferin really works fast. It's got something extra in it, so it goes to work even faster than plain aspirin. You can get back fast to the things that make nice memories. Funny, I almost forgot about that headache. It lasted such a short time. Fast-working bufferin. Remember?
Bed is getting crowded. They're rolling on the floor. 2 or 3 of your women never come back no more. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. Literature is suffering, a painting and sculpture too. How can I create any works of art when all I do is screw? I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. Commies are gonna take Brooklyn, they're gonna take Nassau too. Commies all make good soldiers, cause they never take time up to screw. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I come home one morning, I really was appalled. Wife's lover in bed with another man that I didn't know at all. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I woke up one evening, I certainly was appalled. The only one I found in my bed was 2 of my former wives. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you gotta go. I got no time for a dozen. 6 of you.
Well, I had to do it, you know. Welcome back to the Bottomless Pit. It's time for part 3. We just heard a song that's designed to put a smile on your face. I hope it did that. A little thing called My Bed Is Getting Crowded by the Fugs. Let me see. Yeah, we're wrapping up our salute to ESP-Disc Records here on the show. Game-changing, universe-altering record company of the 1960s, founded by the now late Bernard Stolman. There's one less Esperanto speaker in the world now that he's gone. Let's wrap up our tribute to ESP-Disc Records with another thing of beauty, another radio melter from the great Sun Ra and the orchestra. Superb. Excellent stuff there. A piece called The Cosmos from an album called The Heliocentric Worlds of Sun Ra, Volume 1, which came out on ESP-Disc Records back in 1965. And so ends our tribute to the label here on the Bottomless Pit. Back in the 1960s, of course, there were a lot of social norms that needed to be destroyed, a lot of taboos and conventions that needed to be smashed to pieces. That was what all the music on ESP-Disc Records was about, you know. I hope you enjoyed tonight's Bottomless Pit as much as I did. I'm Marshall Crenshaw. I'm going to let you go now with our unofficial closing theme song by the great Joey Ramone. And I hope you'll stay tuned for Kara Manning. She's coming up very soon here on WFUV. Bye-bye.
What a wonderful world.